the futon gang.
The futon gang. Yes, I love them.
I'm down with all of them. Now, all singers who hold a microphone, they don't hold it the way we did it when I did the Andy Williams show.
How do they hold it?
Now they hold it up here. They do it like here, straight on. I'm holding it straight in front of my mouth, out like
with the end in the air, almost.
Oh, in the air, or the end of the microphone projected outward toward the audience.
I hold the end down.
I hold it down because we're old school.
Yeah,
we're old school.
If I get into it and have a moment, maybe I'll tilt back.
Sure.
But I do. I sit down. Is it because I'm old?
No, the microphone is designed so you do it that way.
Thank you very much.
It's just the way the custom is. And the same way you see people on television, rappers hold a gun, which is that sideways way. You don't do that.
No, you hold it.
You hold it straight up because you can't shoot anything. It's just a style thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. You
can't be quiet anymore.
Yeah. Who you hear in the background is our special guest. Adore Delano is with
finally.
us. Hey. Yes. Now, all the years we've been doing this podcast, this is your first time.
Yes, I was not ready. Trust me, I was not ready.
Yeah. Well, what's so ready about it? There's nothing ready. You know how to talk.
Well, I'm 27 now, and you told me when I was 27 some real shit was going to happen in my life, and it is.
And we talk about that a lot here. Mm-hmm. It's the beginning of Saturn Returns.
Yeah.
It's when Saturn returns, at 28 years old, is when Saturn returns to the position it was in when you were born. Mm. So that's when
So is it the year leading up to 28?
You know, honey, I had it from 27 to 28, and then it didn't settle down for me until I hit 30.
So what happens in that moment of Saturn returns?
Well, you know, I got to I had to recalibrate all of my dreams and aspirations. I had to do a new mission statement.
This is perfect timing for you, Adore.
Yeah. Is that what you're finding, Adore?
1,000,000% Monopoly dollars, like completely.
So, are you going to tell us now that you're transitioning?
Well, actually, kind of, I guess, spiritually.
Uh-huh.
I've been reading these spiritual books that I used to talk shit about. Yeah. Can we say that word?
Oh, we insist on it.
Yes, this is perfect.
This is a talk shit podcast.
Ooh, Bruce said poop. He said the poop word.
She called the shit poop.
But you know, I don't think it's until we get to a certain point in our life that we get, because I think as kids we all make fun of those self-help books.
Yeah, sure.
And the first one I think I really ever read was A Return to Love that you gave to me when I went through the worst breakup of my life. And then I read some of the Louise Hay, and then I went on from there. But those books, like, I'm obsessed with Infinite Possibilities at the moment. Those books have their time and their place.
Yes.
And now you're ready.
Yes. I mean, like, seriously, like, they've flipped my perspective, like, completely. It happened in December, because, you know, I love plastic surgery, so.
I'm going to get into that.
I get my plastic surgery done in December, because I like to hibernate.
Is that a county in Mexico?
I think it's a river in LA County. I like to get it, like, end of November, because she likes, you know, Sleeping Beauty, and then wake up and be like, oh, she's Selena Gomez, and but I got my hairline lowered.
Oh, you did?
Yes,
Look at, well, they shave the back.
What do you mean lowered?
Well, it's grown out now, but they take the hair follicles and they lower it down. So
they don't just cut a gap in your widow's peak and then just bring it down?
They used to. They do it, like, they could do it like that, or they cut the back and then they sew the back and take the hair follicles out of there and plant them in, like, eggs. Or they have a thing called few hair follicle surgery now, where, like, you just sit on your back for 8 hours and take 2 pills and feel really cool.
Yeah.
And then they go, and, like, it just, like, shoots it out of your hair. And then
like, where the hairline on a man or a woman would be receding, they just fill it in there?
Yeah, look, like, remember, my hairline was, like, in the back, so they just, like, they individually for 8 hours.
And that's your hair growing out of it.
Yeah, it's my hair.
It's like the hair club for men. It's the same concept, right?
Yeah. But that looks beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah. Not only are you a client.
The president.
You're
also
a member.
Exactly. Yes, I'm 51% of that company.
It looks gorgeous.
Thank you. No, but I was saying that to say this. I was joking with my plastic surgeon because I was like, I don't know if you hit a fucking nerve in my head or something, but my whole world has been flipped. Like, I'm even going to, like, my people I've been hanging out with my entire life.
Yes.
I'm going to dinner with them, and I'm like, what's going on here. Like, things are just different right now, and it's really kind of beautiful. It's like a butterfly moment.
Yeah.
I don't think it's happened completely yet, but I'm out of the mental breakdown-ish almost.
Right.
Yeah.
So what self-help books are you reading?
I have the book called Waking Up. I don't know who wrote that, but Courtney turned me on to it, and I was like, oh no, self-help book, I'm punk rock. And then I just started reading it, and yeah, it just kind of, I even was like crying. It turns your brain like completely on to like something that you've never kind of touched on, and I've never really touched on that when I was younger because I was just a punk kid from Resist and didn't really give a shit about anything.
Well, that's interesting because, I'm from California. You're from California. When I was growing up in the 70s, that was all the rage. I'm okay, you're okay.
Mars, Venus.
Everything. Well, that was later.
80s,
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
That was actually 90s.
Was
Mars, Venus, yeah.
Oh my God.
But in the 70s, it was a huge craze. So it was part of our culture to read all of these self-help books.
Yeah, I love
Looking Out for Number One was another one that we did. But you're finding that place now, which is right on schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to get to the plastic surgery stuff later. But so when did this awakening happen?
December.
It's Waking Up. It says by Sam Harris. I wonder if is it the Sam Harris that's saying somewhere?
No, you're thinking of Tony. I think he's Tony winner Sam Harris. He
Ed McMahon Star Search.
Star Search. But did he win a Tony for something?
Oh, I feel
he went to Broadway.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Because there was always the joke that when he sang
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
He was amazing. He's so cute.
He's still amazing.
Coattails. Oh,
I follow him on Twitter.
So Sam Harris wrote the book Waking Up. It's a spiritual guide.
Oh, yeah.
Carry on.
And how did you find this book?
Courtney Act. Yeah, she turned me on to that. And Chris, Chris Crocker. Yeah, he's basically been my therapist for everything. Seriously, like I've hired a therapist and I stopped talking to her because she told me to stop dabbing. I couldn't.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Daughter does the same
What? Okay, wait a minute. Okay, tell me what that is. Your therapist. You fired your therapist because she told you to stop dabbing.
So the kids dab. Like Lily compulsively does it, almost like a tick.
Do you know what it really means?
What is dabbing? I don't know.
Like a weed thing?
Yeah.
What is it? Pot?
Yeah,
I'm going to show you.
It's pot.
But
it's like the most purest concentrate of pot, and it's in a waxing form, and it's like THC form.
Yes.
And then you get a little tiny like rice form of it basically. And you make the bowl hot, and then you like smoke it, and then like you basically get like a real. It's like for stoners that can't get really that high off of weed anymore. Oh
boy, yeah.
So it makes you cough when people aren't used to it.
Is that where that came from?
Yeah. So now.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So now things like that.
So the dance move or the football move, wherever it came from, they do this.
Yes.
Oh, like you put your mouth
face,
in your elbow.
Your
I've seen people sneeze.
Oh my God, that makes sense. I sneeze that way.
I've seen people sneeze.
But it's turned into a thing where the kids do it. Even little kids. It's a fucking Snapchat filter. Like it's everything.
The football players are all doing it. They're like, when they do
like when they make a touchdown, and Lily will just randomly be like, hey, and just
by the way, Madonna, and you can dance. Remember that was her first dance move? Do you remember that thing?
Oh my God, that's right!
That's the creator of the dab.
Madonna
with
created,
her bracelets.
Yes.
She's a dab queen.
Yeah, but she would dip one knee.
Yes.
She would dip one leg. Is that how they do it here too?
No, this is just a straight up.
Well, maybe if it's a really harsh dab and you have to go down to the.
I didn't know it came from drugs.
Yeah.
Why would your therapist ask you to stop dabbing?
I don't know. I was in the middle of writing my record and I was like, it helps me like just kind of like escape.
Hold on a minute. You're talking about the drug dabbing.
Yeah.
She's not talking about the dance move.
Right. Okay. Yeah, well, but are you sure your therapist didn't say stop dabbling?
No. I told her I just started dabbing. Like, I just started it because I'm a pothead, man. Like, and I have, like, really bad issues.
When did you start smoking weed? How young?
I started smoking weed when I started other weird drugs when I try to get off of them. So it did kind of the opposite of what usually happens to people. It took me off of what I was dabbling in on the Bots tours and the tours that we're doing. I was doing hardcore drugs, and you were witnessing that and stuff like that.
Michelle, what are hardcore drugs to people?
I was on K, and I was in a K-hole, and I was like...
You would go on stage on K?
Oh, well, hold on a minute. These were bad moments, and I won't talk about it.
Oh, no, I don't mind. I told my mom, don't tune in, because I'm an open book. Like, I don't really mind. I'm over that.
There were some moments in Europe, mostly, where he would have bad experiences, and he would literally be side of the stage with me puking, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "I got to go on stage, do the song, come off, and right into the basket, puking again."
Literally,
go do a song and then come back
and
up.
Puke again.
And how was the song?
I
okay?
cried in the middle of my song. I couldn't hit one. I was on key. I'm always like there, but like there's this one that if I was sober, I usually go crazy on it, and I couldn't go, and I really wanted to impress Spain, and I was so mad. I was really angry, but. It was funny. It's funny to Courtney and all the girls and stuff like that, but it really isn't because the night before that, I did like 7 different drugs.
I remember that. And I was concerned about, I was concerned about Danny dying because he was on his back, couldn't even barely get ready.
Up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of hot.
Yeah.
Now, too bad you didn't do it on stage. Huh? Now, 7 different drugs. What 7 different drugs are there?
Well, I know I wasn't still 7 times. There was E involved.
Yeah.
Coke.
Okay.
I was definitely pot out of the motherfucker. Yeah, I'm wake and bake.
Yeah.
And whatever else was in powdered form.
And then there's alcohol too.
There's alcohol.
She was mixing a lot of that.
Of alcohol.
And so, in hindsight, why were you doing that?
I didn't want to be on that tour.
It wasn't fun.
It was not fun. I hate K. It's the most disgusting drug that has ever been created on this earth.
Yeah. Well, that would be Coke.
That's second, I think. Yeah. I do think that's second because sometimes people get their gig with Coke, but it's not for me. Yeah. But I think K is a really horrible thing to even be released to the human public.
And Michelle, you never did that up in the club.
Do you know I've never tried a drug in my life except for I did one Black Beauty once in high school, which is speed.
Right.
Oh, it's speed?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then I smoked hash once, and I smoked, I know I sound like an idiot, I smoked pot like 4 times. And being a former bulimic and anorexic, my go-to thing was like, I'm going to eat a dozen donuts. And I realized, and they weren't just donuts.
I don't mean to laugh, but that's funny.
They were filled with like cream and shit. It wasn't just a standard donut.
Yeah.
So I realized, these 2 things do not go well together.
The weed and the
eating disorder.
Yeah.
So it didn't work for me. And as far as Coke and all that, it's always been offered. It still gets offered.
Same.
Yeah.
I get so nervous about being out of control that I've never gone there. Even with alcohol, same shit. So no, I've seen it. I've been around it. I probably had second, when we used to go to Tracks in New York, honey, that place was like walking into a dust pit. Yeah. It was all angel dust and PCP. You can smell it. It's
that building is still there. I saw it last week.
What is it now?
Well, I don't know what it is, but we're talking about the old Roxy. And,
is it a club
wait a minute, 16, 7, what was it called?
1018.
1018.
But Tracks was
not that. Right, yeah.
Right there, though.
Yeah, it was right over there, yeah.
1018 was the roller skating.
Exactly, but that turned into the Roxy.
Correct.
And it's still there.
God bless it.
Okay, so you adore Delano. Didn't want to be on this European tour.
No, I did not.
And
although it was really fun happening.
It was very fun.
And so your solution was, I'm gonna get motherfucking fucked up.
He wasn't the only one, though.
No, we were all. It's just my body. I don't do drugs.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
So you're a wake and baker, but you don't do chemicals.
No. So my body was like, "What the fuck are you doing to me?"
And you had never done it before?
Never tried. I've done coke. I live in LA. Yeah. But I don't like coke. It's not my drug. But I was all wasted. We're in Spain, and these hot guys are porn stars, and they say they want me, and I'm like, "No, you don't." But you know, man, it's like you're partying with you. We're making memories and shit. But I got out of hand, and yeah, I don't do that shit.
So your solution was to take these drugs, and did it work?
For about 4 hours. And then it did not work for about 18.
Yeah.
And then if you guys like shitting on yourselves, do drugs. No, it's not cool. It's definitely not something that I condone and like want my younger fans to do. I want this to be a learning experience because I learned from Courtney Love's experience, and that's why I'm wearing her shirt right now. I'm like, just speak about whatever the fuck happened, so kids can be more inspired by a story like that, as opposed to just like not telling the truth.
Yeah, but when you were a kid, could someone you knew Courtney Love's story, you knew everyone's story. Yeah. Did their story stop you from doing it?
No. No, but nothing stops kids that are going to be inspired or want to do something from doing it.
I mean, maybe it can make them aware.
It can make them aware, yes, but I would still look at like things that Courtney Love was doing. But I ain't never going to do that. But like, I mean, it was kind of like, it depends what it is. And parenting as well. You can't always blame somebody that your kid likes. I mean, we heard it from Marilyn Manson for the entire 90s. Like, come on.
Okay, so that was Spain. Did you do it throughout Europe?
No. No,
that one I think kicked his
ass. That one was, I wasn't doing coke or nothing until we got to Spain, and because they just like, hi, here you go, and you're like, no, we're cool for the first 3 days, and then like the 4th one, we're like, okay, yeah, we'll have a bump, and then 17,000 other things, and then then you're dead. But no, for the most part, no.
So how long was this European tour?
Well, the whole tour was 5.5 months. I think the Europe leg was like most of it.
Yeah,
the Europe leg was most of it. You were on quite a bit of it.
So was that 3.5?
3.5 maybe?
That's
yeah, 3.5.
a long time.
Yeah.
Had you been on a tour like that before?
Longer, yeah.
Longer than that, yeah. This is just crazy. See, I hear the stories from Mama Shell over here. Yeah. And of course, in my day, I had my thrills and
you sure did. And you've been very open about yours as well.
Sure. But a lot of that stuff I did before I got famous, So the pictures, there are pictures though. Lahoma Van Sant has pictures from all that,
Well, even some of the pictures that we do see, you're there. They just don't know that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you were really good at covering
But there are a lot
that.
of pictures of me, and there is a drink and a cigarette in hand.
But I remember going to the radio with you, and you would have glasses on every morning at 4 o'clock in the morning because you were already
because I had been out the night before, and because I couldn't wake up. I'd have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. The car would come at 5. We'd have to be there. Wait a minute.
No, earlier than that.
Okay. The car came for me at 4:45.
Yeah, because
and we were there at 5.
Yeah.
We prepped for an hour, and then we went on the air from 6 to 10.
Right.
Yeah. But it's interesting, the whole concept of using a drug to alleviate the pressure of feelings that you cannot deal with.
Yes.
And that's, I'm sure, what this book, what's it called again?
Waking Up.
Waking Up. I wish you got a little profits from that book as we promote this book. Waking Up by Sam Harris. Is that what it's telling you? What is it telling you? Yeah, we're going to take a break in a minute, but we're going to hear this.
That one I just started. I started one that was it has like a bunch of little like, it looks like little stars with like magic on it. And it's just like spiritually.
That's the Cat in the Hat.
No, that's Green Eggs and Ham. No, I forgot what it's called, but that one, it's basically teaching me how to trust what I think is my higher self, and basically teaching me how to invoke that, and basically, I don't know, stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
Like, I've never kind of like read up on what spirituality was, and it's opening my brain up to like my past lives and possibilities of stuff like that. And I think where my brain is right now, I think this is like a cool gig to have, because it's something.
There more will be revealed, because you are very talented. You have so much charisma, and talent, and along with that comes deep feelings. And when you have deep feelings, you feel everything more than the average Joe.
Super hypersensitive to even energies.
And so those polar opposites, feeling deeply and then being able and being hard at the same time. All of that, you have to find a balance, not just for you, but for everyone out there. Finding that balance, and that's what the purpose of these books is, to help a person navigate and find that balance in life. They're polar opposites, in this world.
And validate that you're not alone, and validate that we're always going to be a work in progress.
Yes, of course.
And that's okay.
Of course. What did my mom say? She said Barbara Streisand still takes singing lessons. Or still
so does Bernadette Peters.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
My mom's obsessed with Barbara Streisand.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. All right, so we've got Adore Delano here. We're going to take a real quick break, but we'll be right back with more. Hey guys, Squarespace in the house.
We love Squarespace.
What's good, Squarespace? Well, everything is good about Squarespace because they make it so easy for our lovely people out there to make their websites and to do their thing and be seen.
Be seen, sell your wares.
Yes.
Tell your stories.
Especially in this tumultuous time in our history, this is the time to show your love, your beauty, your colors, your music, your laughter, your joy. That's what we have that the other side doesn't have.
Yes.
And you show that on your Squarespace website.
I love that. And check it out. When you're ready to purchase a plan, get 10% off with the offer code RU, R-U. That's squarespace.com. Offer code RU. You'll never look back. Show your colors.
We are back with Adore Delano talking about the trials and tribulations of life and being a drag race star. Yeah. Now, Adore, you were on what season of Drag Race?
Season 6.
Season 6.
Yes.
The finalist with Courtney and Bianca.
Yes.
And Bianca, right. And then you again came on All Stars.
Yes.
All Stars 2.
Oh gosh, did I really though? Was that me?
Famously,
gosh.
And you dropped out after the first or second episode. First episode.
First and a half. Come on,
well,
give me
no. You were on.
I was like, I think I can.
It was the first critique.
Yeah.
Elimination.
So having been, and then you had another life on a reality show before that. Mm-hmm. Having been through all that, and here you are at 27. What have you learned about yourself?
That my adulthood was semi-robbed from semi-fame.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because even like my first like when I even lost my virginity, the whole club knew. Like he told everyone. So like it was like a thing that I'm barely starting to like live as an adult right now and like get my own and like go on a mountain in fucking Seattle and be like, you guys, y'all have fun. I need to chill for a half a year.
Yeah, you moved to Seattle.
I did. I've been there for like almost 5 months now. I'm moving back here because I recorded my record over there because it's like super punk inspired and like grunge inspired. So I needed to get stuff from there. But for the most part, I'm coming back here.
But you're on the road all the time. So how? I mean, you were there for 5 months, but how much time did you actually spend there?
I was there for a while. I've taken like almost like 4 months off right now. Yes, just to work on my brain and get a therapist and fire her.
Yeah, and, a therapist in Seattle.
Yeah.
How did you find her? Because we talk about this a lot too. Is how does someone find a therapist?
My assistant.
Your assistant.
Yeah, it's your cousin.
Yeah, my cousin is my assistant. He found a place nearby, and she was lovely. She really was. But I just feel I'm super like sensitive to energies, and it wasn't a click.
You know when it's right.
I know when somebody knows who I am and has a gig already, and I'm like.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Is that a younger generation, they don't want to fail. They want it to hit right out of the park initially. And with most things, you have to drive it around the block. You really do.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. But in all fairness, with therapists, sometimes it does take 3 or 4 sessions. You realize that they're not the one, and then you move on.
Yeah.
And they're used to that, I think.
I think so. The one I've been with her. Let's see. This is 7. It's been 18 years.
That's stunning. Yeah. When you have a connection like that you can just like feel free to say shit.
And I haven't seen her. It's been a couple of years since I've seen her, but I think of her all the time. And I wrote her a note just recently about her because of her birthday. I said I'm going to come and see you soon. Not just because I have issues. Well, I always have issues, but I miss her, and she is so smart. She's someone who I can run things past and no judgment, and it's such a lovely relationship. And what's interesting, in her presence, things come out of me. That sounds wrong. that wouldn't otherwise come out because I know it's a safe place. And when there's something magical that happens when you're with another person, and you can't. It's amazing. You can't.
When that trust is that built up like a Lego, then your igloo is safe. Like it's like I was talking to bring Chris Crocker, who's a freaking #1 fan of this show. He's a doll. He's amazing. We call each other maybe 10 in the morning because he has time difference in Tennessee.
He's in Tennessee?
He's coming to visit me tomorrow. Well, I'm gonna meet him tonight in Seattle.
I thought he was living out here in Los Angeles.
No, he lives in Tennessee.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna be looking at places here, but. No, I
feel like he should be here.
Yeah, he should.
He was here for a long time.
Yeah, for a little while. Yeah. He was here. No, but we have that connection because I've known him since we first got semi-famous together. Like he had that thing, and then I had the American Idol thing.
He did the Leave Britney Alone thing. Yes.
And then we would like walk down Robertson Boulevard together and get paparazzi every time we hated it. But we have these stories together that. He knows like everything about me, so like I can have that connection. So I completely can.
Now you've said before that your mother was your best friend. Are there things about you that she doesn't know?
Yeah. There's certain things just that I like to keep from her because she's a Chiona. She's a sensitive. She's just like super like. She's very impulsive. Like
you think I'm impulsive? A Chio what?
A Chiona.
A Chiona. What does that mean?
Chiona means like a crybaby girl. Like you're a crybaby.
A Chiona.
Yeah, like or a Chion. I mean, like if you're a boy, you're a Chion.
That's a great name for a girl group.
Yeah?
Chiona.
Crybabies. That's hot.
Yes.
Chionas.
Yes. And the first thing was to be called Chocha.
Which means what?
That means vagina.
I know.
But no, I mean just all these love songs, like blues-inspired love songs. Spell it for me. Chiona.
Chiona. What is it? Chiona in the Urban Dictionary. I would think they would spell it like that.
Spell it slower for the older people who have.
Chiona.
O.
Wait, no, that's Chino.
No. Chiona.
Okay, so spell it slower because I didn't catch that.
Look at me.
Chiona. Chiona.
Yeah, I had it flipped because
You were thinking of chonies?
And you know they would cover All Cried Out by Lisa.
Because they're crying.
I love that.
You know, can you sing a little bit of
No.
it? And Michelle can do Lisa's version.
I can do Lisa's version.
Michelle does a beautiful impersonation of Lisa doing that song.
Yeah.
Okay, can you just give us a little bit, Michelle? Okay.
Home alone on a Sunday morning. Outside I see the rain is falling. Whoa.
I live, man. I love that song.
Inside I'm slowly dying. All right, we can keep going.
Yeah, that's Chiona, the new group.
Yes.
Would you please form that girl group?
I will, and I'll make sure there's like an
Chiona.
electro pop version too for the kids.
Yes.
But they have to all be like Mexican.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be hot.
Yeah.
With huaraches.
Yes.
Yes, that would be so hot. Okay, so you don't tell your mother these things because she's a crybaby and she would worry. It's hard to flip that. That's why a therapist is so important because they can keep the emotions out of it.
Yeah.
And even with a family member or even with a best friend, a lot of times from their body language or energy, you could feel that there's either disapproval or there's a judgment there.
There's no objective view. There's no like, let me think about like where you're coming from first, as opposed to like what are people going to think about my son if they figure out how like it's like I tell my mom 87% of everything. Like, she knows about, you know, the sex houses and going to like everything and going around Europe and having fun. But like, I don't like to worry her about drugs because my dad passed away from drugs and she gets real scared about like.
Fair enough though.
Yeah, so I don't like to worry her with that.
Okay, back up. What sex houses? Hold up.
Oh yeah,
You tell her about the bathhouse.
Oh yeah, the bathhouse.
Is that what you mean? A sex house is a bathhouse?
Yeah. Well, isn't like bathhouse? Do you have to take your clothes off? Because I can't fuck with those. Like, well, I don't go in them anymore. But,
you don't?
No, I don't. But I used to go, like, even up to, like, a year and a half ago. Like, my homies and I, we used to play tag in there, like, super high.
Wait, hold up. Okay, you're famous, and people recognize you.
Yeah, they taken pictures of me in there, too.
Have they wound up on the interweb?
No, not naked pictures. Like, at the patio, like, I'll be, like, smoking around, and they're like, can we take a picture? And I'm like, sure.
Really?
Yeah.
And they allow cameras in the...
No.
No, they don't, but the people have them anyway.
Uh-huh.
They don't have monitors saying,
They have 2 cameras on the patio.
And it also depends where you go.
Yeah, there's one guy working the whole 3 stories.
You are kidding me.
No.
Here in Los Angeles?
Yeah, down the street.
What's it called?
Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
The Zone.
Oh, the Zone, right. I've heard of that.
And then there's Steamworks in
Yeah,
like,
Steamworks, and then there's...
In where?
in Chicago, there's a Steamworks. Where else is there a
There's
Steamworks?
also a Melrose Spa right here. I've never been to that one. My cousin used to always go, like, and have a party there. And then there's the porn theater right here on Sunset Boulevard.
Oh, the Studs.
Yeah, I used to go there like drunk as hell, but it took us a while to like go there because we're like we're ballsy, but
And are they open 24 hours?
No, I think they close like in the morning. I haven't been there in years, man. But those places are real seedy, so be careful. Because like I was like 19, like getting it in over there, dude.
Yeah. Okay, so so your experience on these shows, you felt like a lot of your young adulthood was robbed because of doing this show. If you were to do it all over again, would you do the same thing?
Yeah.
You would do it again?
Yeah.
Would you do it differently, though?
Probably, but I would have to do it the way I did it in order to get to where I am right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's ultimately, you realize at one point that this is your journey. And there are choices to be made.
Choices.
Yeah. But ultimately, this is your story. Yeah. So, have you gotten into meditation yet?
Yes, I have. I do it like super butt naked in the shower. I like that gig because I don't know. I do that and I'm in my living room.
Well, that's why, at 27, it's a perfect time to take a look back at what your path has been and maybe some insight into where it's going, and maybe you can help you direct yourself to where you'd like to go.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
So tell me about your experience on drag. Let's talk about the first one, which is season 6. What did you walk away with from that experience that you didn't know about yourself before?
That I had something that people actually liked. Every time I was meeting people in the meet and greet, they would gravitate towards me, and I didn't know why. I remember I would even and it would be funny because I was so miserable with my assistant at the time because I really did not get along with her. But I remember I would even she would say it's like a self-sabotage thing. Like I would even try to dress even overly messed up because I was it was driving me crazy a little bit in the beginning. But I would definitely say the charisma helped a lot of recognition, I guess, and actually a lot of fans.
But you knew that before. I mean, listen, I'm sure in high school you were very popular. I'm sure, when you were on American Idol, you were very popular. People knew you from that. I'd heard of you before you were on Drag Race. So why do you think that came as a surprise to you after you were on season 6 of Drag Race?
Validation from every challenge and how well I did after that, and almost winning, and almost having my fucking hands on that crown. And although I was so happy for Bianca, I was just so excited for what was going to happen for me. I was just
good.
Yeah, I was, because I was noticing that the kids were liking me, and the best, greatest R&B singer of our time, of my time of witnessing Whitney Houston, said the best. The children are our fucking future, and if you don't pay attention to that now, you're in trouble. If you're in this business.
Yeah. And so you went on from there to go on tour. And how much time between the end of season 6 and All Stars 2, how much time was in between?
We had an album out right after season 6. First,
right after, yeah. We did a Till Death Do Us party right after. Was that May something? And then just on the road every day in a different country or state.
So, but how much time between those two Drag Race appearances?
Well, there was 6, there was 7, then there was 8 and a half was All Stars 2, right?
Yeah.
So
2.5 years.
Oh, 2.5 years. Oh, okay. So you got your ass in a lot of trouble between now and then and there. Right on.
Lots of pump in the lip, lots of trouble, everything.
So yeah, we're going to take a break, but I want to get to the plastic surgery. I want to get to all this stuff. You've got so much to tell. So just quickly before we go to break, so you had your hairline lowered.
Absolutely.
How did you find the company that did it?
Another Drag Race girl.
There's a few other girls that have gone into this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I've had the same thing.
Yeah. And actually my other homie told me too. It was
He's
the same
very
doctor.
good.
Yeah.
Very
same doctor.
good.
It's a very good doctor.
Yeah.
So you didn't interview other doctors. You just went straight to the source.
I went to him, yeah, and I like to vibe out with my doctors, and he was super cool. The guy that did my nose gave me the same vibes that he did. So I was like,
your nose is gorgeous.
Thank you.
How long have you had that one?
Since December of 2014.
So you had it on All Stars 2?
Yes.
By the way, he had a great nose to begin with. I was fighting with him via text. Yeah. Don't you remember?
And
I was like, don't do it!
What did you not like about it?
It was shifted this way. The bone, he just cracked it back straight. And
it is gorgeous.
He redid the tip because I had cartilage and then none on this side, so it was sharp. But he did it open, but he specializes in correcting surgery, cleft lips. So he's super detailed. But
how'd you find that doctor?
I went to 10 different doctors, Beverly Hills, Orange County. I went to and I landed in Riverside, and I was like, I was like, let me give him a chance, man. He does cleft lips, but he does really good boobs and really good noses. I was looking at, but I looked, and then the first thing he said was, what do you think is wrong with your nose? As opposed to, this is what I think you're gonna need.
Right.
And every superficial doctor from LA said, hey, you're gonna need the ski slope gig. And this guy was like, keep the hump a little. The tip could be fixed and you could be straightened, but if the shape needs to look like
gorgeous.
It is
How much did it cost?
$7,500, and it was the cheapest.
Oh my God, that's it.
The cheapest, and he was the most kindest one, and the one that I was almost gonna go to was $15,000, and he was the stickiest.
So $7,500, as opposed to $15,000.
Beverly Hills. Remember I told you about the whole neck thing and the facelift? Hands down, you go to Beverly Hills, so I go to. And I know we're going to wrap this segment, but I go to meet with this guy about doing a little tug on the lower part of my face, and I go in, and he said $25,000, and I went,
no,
I don't need a facelift. I just need $25,000. And then I go, what? He goes, yeah. He goes, this is Beverly Hills. He said, if you go upstairs to Dr. whatever his name was, I know you know who he is. I can't remember. He goes, at least 100 to 150,000. I said,
oh my God.
He goes, yeah, facelifts in Beverly Hills.
No.
I said, but I don't need a
Well,
facelift.
you know, I would go to Dr. Dubrow down in Newport Beach.
But he's not cheap either.
He's not cheap, but he is good. I told you, I sat in on one of his facelifts.
But you also have an in with Dr. Dubrow.
Yeah, but no, Inchman, I wouldn't want to pay less for a facelift because I know the guy. But
you don't need to pay $100,000.
No, you don't need to pay. I went to I went to a consultation for a guy in Beverly Hills, and that was $23,000.
I just don't. I think that's not right. No. I'm going to go to a Doors doctor in Riverside.
Yeah, my mom's going to like the bargain.
I'm going to Riverside.
Yep. I came up with a Cheerios coupon. I was like, here, there you go.
I'll take that and the Cheerios.
All right, we're going to take a break. We've got lots to talk about with Adore Delano. Child, today ticks, honey, they've revolutionized going to the theater. It used to be so difficult. You know, it used to be you had to get the tickets and plan it out. I have gone to my app on my phone and pressed my Today Ticks, and I've gotten tickets, brilliant tickets, in a matter of minutes.
Yeah, and you guys, it's not just musicals. There's over 80 musicals. There's comedies, there's dramas. That's just in New York, but you can also see opera. You can go to, comedy joints. They have tickets for everything, you guys, and it's available in not only New York. Rue and I just tend to usually go, but I go in London as well a lot.
I use my app here in L.A. also.
Oh, yeah, we do. And
time.
San Francisco you use it.
Yes, I did.
But it's also D.C., Chicago, Philly, Seattle. More cities are coming, so stay tuned. And today, Tix, T-I-X, pioneer the mobile lotteries and all that mobile rush technology. You can enter lotteries to see shows at deep discounts, like some of them like to see Amber Riley in the front row in London. You can enter the lottery for £15.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's outrageous.
It's insane. And if you're in New York, don't miss free Shakespeare in the Park this season. Enter the Today Ticks exclusive digital lottery for free tickets to see A Midsummer Night's Dream in Central Park.
Oh, my goodness.
And if you've never experienced Shakespeare in the Park, it's really unbelievable.
Well, I knew a guy named Shakespeare who I would see in the park.
That's different. The rambles don't count.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, you got to see it on a stage.
He was very popular then. I remember those nights. Shakespeare in the Park. Today, Tix gives you access to insider deals and exclusive offers. You can get tickets up to 50% off in just a few taps. Rue and I talk about they never sell obstructed view seats. You can choose, I want to pay a little bit more and go to orchestra or dress circle, or you can go up.
Yeah.
Anything you guys want to do, it's your choice what you want to pay. That's the awesome thing. Like, here's your price point.
Yeah, you make the rules. You decide what you want. And the attendant out front of the theater couldn't be sweeter and couldn't really start off your theater experience with more joy.
No, it's so easy, too. They're out there in their red shirt or their red jacket, depending on the season. And Today Tix would like you to get $20 off your first purchase. Yes, $20 off your first purchase with the code RU. So download the Today Tix app for free on your phone. It's Today TIX, or visit todaytix.com to see what's playing this week and treat yourself to a show. Todaytix.com, offer code RU.
We are back with Adore Delano. So many stories. We were asking her about her experience on Drag Race the first time around, and then the second time around when you threw in the towel early on.
Oh my gosh.
Now you've had a lot of time since that happened.
Yeah.
In hindsight, what is your takeaway from that, and what really happened inside of you when that was happening?
Because it was obvious something was going on.
Oh yeah, it was just super to explain. It's super easy to explain. It was a star was born, a star was kind of falling, and it got captured on camera while she was falling, and one little thing just blew her like a fucking leaf, and that's it. I mean, even though people were saying like my dad had passed away like 6 months before that or whatever, and it was still time, like I wasn't dealing with that with my family, and I wasn't dealing with like that stupid like breakup that I thought was real. And it was my first relationship I've ever been in, so it was really harsh for me. And yeah, there was like a lot of things that were like being written that I was reading about me online that were really cool, that were like fucking with my brain.
You can't look on.
Oh no, I don't look now, but like that's some shit I didn't know about 2 years ago. That's my.
Wait, really? You didn't realize to not look at the comment section from your first go round on Drag Race?
Well, they're posting naked pictures of your ex-boyfriend on Reddit, and you're gonna look.
Yeah.
I was in the Philippines, man. I was just like, I don't want to look into that.
Right. Was he at one of the sex houses when they...
I think he was actually performing at the Zone. Headlining. Yes. Passing out popcorn. I'm just kidding. Just kidding, girl. They have popcorn. It's lovely.
So, well, good. They keep you fed.
In many ways, Dorothy.
Yeah, right. Corn. I don't remember eating popcorn. So in hindsight, you said something about a star falling. What do you mean a star was falling?
A star was overworked, like a little dead fly. She was overworked. I mean, I was in
So
Spain.
you were vulnerable.
I was super vulnerable mentally. I think physically, I wasn't healthy. I was not thinking about what I was putting in my body when it came to eating and drugs and just everything. And even though I am my father's son and I like whiskey and beer still, I pay attention to what I eat now, but girl, there's a lot going on, man.
Yeah,
that was a messy time.
And what a lot of people don't realize is that when you're on a reality show like that, it's such a you're so depraved of all of your comforts because the hours are long, the food, you're got a camera in your face the whole time, and there are other people around. Even though you know these girls, it's still your space is invaded.
Completely invaded from like every angle.
Yeah.
And when you're like vulnerable, you're like, get me out of here.
Yeah. I can't imagine. And Michelle did Big Brother UK. I just cannot imagine what that would be like.
Even the thought of I would be like, you have to give me like a year to even think about that.
And now it's even worse because
it's more invasive.
Let me tell you why. God. When I did it was the last season, and I don't want to make this about me, but I'll give it to you in a nutshell. It was the last season about where there was a certain regime in charge, and they didn't meddle with it. Mm-hmm. Mostly, they did things.
The producers, you mean?
Correct.
Yeah.
But now, apparently, they're just having their hand on everything now. Mm-hmm. So you think it's one thing, and it's absolutely not.
Yeah.
So they're doing like everything for an interesting turn or whatever.
You are correct.
Okay. Yeah. Like parents are coming in and stuff. I've seen like I seen that. I was like, oh God.
So now, Adore, your voice. Okay, you have a God-given voice. Where did that come from? Mother, father? Was anybody else in your family a performer?
Sister.
My sister, my cousins. I mean, yeah, I was just always that kid.
What do you mean your sister? Would I know her name? Is she Lisa?
Upside down.
She co-wrote that. She was in End of Watch with Jake Gyllenhaal. She played like one of the gangsters. She's an actress and a rapper and a singer. I use her studio all the time. She's super musically inclined.
What do you mean use her studio? What's her name?
Diamonique. She's
say that slower for me.
Monique, but she goes by Diamonique.
Like a diamond?
Yeah.
Diamonique.
Yeah.
And like Diamonique.
Yeah. I love that.
And her production's like Diamond Cut production. It's like the diamond.
How much older is she?
She's older. She's like a few years older than me.
What's that mean? Oh, yeah, well, you don't have to say it. Yeah.
She'd be like, girl.
Yeah. Okay, so she's an actress and a rapper.
Yeah.
And she's in a movie with Jake. I can't say his last name.
Gyllenhaal.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, from Brokeback Mountain.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
That's the only. He's been in so many movies, and we all go Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah. I'm so traumatized by that movie. I've seen it like 3 times.
It's so good.
I can't watch it.
It's so good. I cry every single time.
Because it's real and it's pure.
Because you cannot touch Ang Lee, baby. Nobody can. Every one of his movies, and I didn't get to see The Long Walk Home by Billy Something's Long Walk. I need to see that.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
That was not a commercial success, and everybody's waiting for it. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm sure it was still
Billy Something's Long Walk Home.
Billy something?
Yeah, I don't know the title. That was probably the problem with it too. But every movie he makes, he made a movie years ago called Lust Caution. Lust-Caution.
At some point.
Oh my! It's oh my God!
I live for that.
The most erotic, not in a sleazy way, the most erotic movie I think I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, Lust Caution.
Who's in it? Is it like an older movie or is it a newer movie?
It's all.
Is it foreign?
It's Chinese. I don't want to sound racist. I think he's Chinese, right?
Ang Lee. He's not Jewish.
Yeah. Okay. Well, but no Lee. Yeah, Ang Lee because Chinese have shorter names and Japanese have longer names.
Correct.
So Ang Lee is Chinese.
Unless he's like Korean or something like that.
Okay. So now you're really confused.
But I do think he is Chinese.
Yeah. Well, it's a Chinese cast for Lust Caution, and it's brilliant. And of course, A Life of Pi doesn't get any better than that.
Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
Yes, he is too much.
Ang Lee is Taiwanese.
Okay.
And Billy, who?
Billy somebody's long.
Billy Flynn?
You can talk loud, producer.
Yeah,
we're not doing this on our own.
Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk.
See, okay, there you go.
That's exactly why it failed.
That's why. Billy Lynn's.
That is. Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk.
A sentence.
First of all, saying Long Halftime Walk does not work.
See, what they should have called it is Billy Lynn better sissy that walk. Billy Lynn better sissy that
You're
walk.
even better saying Billy Lynn's Long Walk.
Okay.
What, halftime comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Billy Lynn. So your sister is
Dominique.
Dominique. It's not
Diamonique.
She goes like Diamonique.
Diamonique.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, Diamonique, you're making it really difficult.
Really Diamonique.
No.
And so I asked that question because, you were thrust. Oh, I didn't mean to say that after talking about the.
Sure, you did.
Yeah, you were thrust into the limelight, and I was just wondering if there was anybody there who could say, "Oh, kiddo, a little to the left. Oh, no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to. You had to learn the hard way."
I'm from Azusa. Like we're like. Tam's Burger is like the highlight of the Tuesday.
Should I go to Tam's Burger?
You should go to Tam's Burger and get their zucchini with ranch. It's so good.
Where is Tam's Burger? Because I go, I pass. I think of you every time I go to Palm Springs and pass through Azusa. Because I take the 210 here from Los Angeles. I take the 210 till it turns into the 10 and goes to Palm Springs, and of course I stop over at Cabazon. But so I think of you every time. Now. Tam's is just a diner.
It's just a burger
joint.
Yeah.
Is it really good though?
I think it's good. I mean, I go there.
Yeah. Tam's. What street is it on? What intersection?
Hollenbeck.
Is it? How do you spell it? T-A-M?
T-A-M-S.
T-A-M. Oh, that sounds right.
Is it Tacos out that way too?
Yeah. Well, ours
that's off the 5.
Ours is Taco King.
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
I see what they did.
Okay.
They flipped it on that ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it the same company as King's
It
Taco?
probably is. They're probably good, dude.
Yeah. Okay,
right next
so you're thrust into the limelight, and you've maybe made a few missteps along the way, as one does.
Yeah.
It's your rite of passage.
I probably will tomorrow.
Hey, right on. Do it. But so tell me, if a kid is out there listening right now who is about to be thrust.
Lucky.
Oh my God.
Into the limelight. You didn't let me finish.
Damn it.
What advice would you have for them?
I would say buckle up and make sure that you talk to people that have at least experienced that a tiny bit before, and talk to them a lot before you decide to dedicate your entire life. Even if it is like a cult following that sometimes can be even like the same amount of like being mainstream, man. Like they're the same amount of invasive in your life, and you have to really give that completely up. And if that means like relationship-wise, you're theirs. And whether you want to realize that or not, and you have to figure out how to separate the you from them, but ultimately you put yourself on the line to be theirs. You're on their lock screen.
And have somebody who can ground you on the other side.
Right.
But you're saying that you belong to the audience?
I think to a certain extent. I think they think that now. I think a lot of the kids, especially with their attention spans, I just think that you're on my lock screen, you're in my pocket, you're mine.
Yeah, right.
So,
how do you personally separate that? Where do you draw the boundary line?
Family, maybe.
But even with fans, I mean, when you're out with fans, are you able to say, no, that's far enough?
It depends what the energy is. If they're a super fan and they're kind, I can always tell usually. But if they want a picture and they're just treating me like a cardboard cutout, then you have to be able to like separate that, because my friend, like I was even gonna tweet the other day, and I didn't want to sound like a dick, but my best friend Crystal, who like I love to death, I grew up since I was a fetus. I had limited time with her because I was meeting up with my lawyers, and I was just saying like, I have limited time, and the guy was like, and so I'm just like, now I just take the picture as opposed to just not even saying a little, because they want you to be like diva now.
Right.
It's like, so now I'm just like, okay, real quick.
Well, it's that whole new generation of, especially what I went through with you, this whole new generation of, Adore blocked me on 3/17/17. Michelle Visage blocked me on. It's this whole new thing.
They want to be like they're bored.
Yes.
Well, they're not only bored, but they want to know that they exist. Every human being wants validation to know that they notice me. Notice me. I'm really here. And the truth is, no one else can make you feel like you are actually here except for you. Only you can validate yourself. Otherwise, it's a bottomless pit. You'll try and try and try. You'll find yourself at the sex house.
Yeah.
You'll find yourself in Spain on the
face
floor.
Down.
But nothing could fill that God-sized hole. Ooh.
Yes, it could.
Dear.
I'd like to try.
Oh my.
Oh my. except for some type of a spiritual awakening or a spiritual practice that is actually you connecting with the source, which is you. Now, you mentioned lawyers, and I don't want to get into this. I read today that you have a lawsuit that is pending that we will not talk about here because we cannot. But is this? But I'm just going to skirt around the issue so you don't get in trouble. Is this? Are you surprised that you are here at this place in your career where you have to get into something like that? Are you surprised by that?
No.
You're not surprised. Did you expect that was what knock wood, trying to find some wood. I've never been
Look at my little knee, look at my little knee.
I've never been in a situation like that before.
You're like I have. You're lucky.
Yeah, you have been in that situation. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
In hindsight, what could you have done to prevent this without saying names? We don't want you to get into any trouble on a pending lawsuit.
I could have listened to my first assistant.
How many assistants have you had?
Private.
Just two.
Yeah. So you could have listened to your first assistant who said what?
She said everything.
She said something's not right.
She just said everything.
She said something in the milk ain't clean.
She said there's some pus up in this milk.
Yeah.
There's some pus up in this
No, not
milk
pus.
teat.
No.
Did you get this morning? She said. And I said, no, I don't even milk.
Yeah. Well, listen, I grew up knowing about the Motown stars. And when I met Barry Gordy, I told him that the reason my business is on point is because I learned from all of the mistakes.
From your trifling ass.
Yeah. Well, I learned from all of the Motown stars who made every single mistake, obvious mistake, that you can make in show business. But the number one rule in show business is handle your business. Yeah. It is called show business. You have to know your business.
Correct. But in everybody's defense, including yours, I was 19 when I signed my first deal. My lawyers, at one point before we did the renegotiation said, look here. And my first instinct was, well, I don't care. Yeah. And that's what I said when I signed that seduction deal. Yeah. I know what this is. I've fought as much as I can. Yeah. This is all I'm going to get. Do I want to walk away or do I want to do it?
Right.
And I agreed at 19 years old that I wanted to do it. That's separate from the other thing. But the seduction deal was one of the worst of all time.
That's the
19, I would have lost it.
Yeah, but I said, why? I want to be a star. Yeah. This is a record deal on a major label.
Yeah. When did it go sour, though? That's what
well, the record
deal. Is that
what
you're talking about right now?
The first one.
No, the second that she's not talking about the second.
I thought she went through it and she was 19. I was like, oh, shit. Wait,
19 was seduction, the first girl group.
Yeah.
The deal was so bad that my lawyer said, are you crazy?
But all of those deals are bad. That's a production deal. Yes. All of those deals are bad. I recently got to see my Tommy Boy contract, and I got to tell you, I had a little resentment. I got dropped in the middle of making my second album. And there was a resentment for years and years after. But I got to tell you, I just saw the contract a few, and they had me there for 8 albums at these tiny advances and things. And I thought, oh my goodness, what a blessing that I got dropped. Yeah. That resentment is completely, they gave me a gift. Without the launching of that, Warner Brothers machine that thrust me into
the Tommy Boy that you were on.
That thrust me into the
thrusting
that's
today.
The word is a lot of thrusting.
It's the drink word of the day.
We need to go to Steamworks for lunch.
Yes. Ooh, they're serving popcorn. I hear.
Yes, on the patio.
Yeah. Without that push, I would have never hit the big time. So they gave me a gift ultimately. So back to what. In hindsight, so you said that you should have listened to your cousin.
No,
what
my first assistant.
Your assistant.
Who I didn't really like, but she was right.
Yeah. But where was your instinct? Where was your instinct in your intuition at that time?
My instinct was bleached out by a lot of gigs. I even think you tweeted one of my schedules one time. You're like, girl, I don't know how you do it. And I was like, oh my God, RuPaul tweeted me. But you tweeted, and you're like, I don't know what the hell this is. Because it was like literally, it was
night after night.
It was night, but it was Chicago, Sweden, New York, England, LA, England.
Yes.
And it was like, we kept going out of the country and back in. And I remember And I remember Alaski did a really cool interview because I did some of the touring with her. And she was like, girl, I don't know how, she was like freaking out too because I wasn't doing drugs back then at all.
And you sing live.
And I sing live.
Yes.
And I didn't drink really. I was like really chill. But I always say, sometimes the girls get crazy right after the show and they get fame. It just took me 3 years.
Yeah.
It took me, and it was happening little by little behind the curtain.
Well, that's a perfect point too, because what happens is unresolved issues when you get famous come to the surface. Absolutely. And they just say, hello, that child inside of you is saying, I'm over here. Are you going to pay attention to me?
Are we hula hooping?
Yes. And then that child will come out and say, you know what? I need to get your attention. I'm going to play out. I'm going to play out so you can, check me before you wreck something like that.
It's so interesting though, because I wrote a song called 27 Club, which is if you look, as I've been studying the people that have kind of have lost their lives, and I'm kind of trying to get. I know it sounds a little crazy, but
no, it doesn't sound crazy.
I study these people, and what not to do now, because what I was doing was what they were doing.
Isn't it that interesting that the people we're talking about, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Amy Winehouse, Kurt Cobain, 27. It's right at that place where that changeover happens, and I got to tell you, 28 was a very, very tough time for me. I turned 28 in November of 1988. At that point, I was sleeping on my baby sister's couch. I did not have a dime. I mean, literally a dime to my name. I wound up back in San Diego living with my mother. A friend of mine, Larry T., called up and said, N-word, are you crazy?
Yeah.
You better get your black ass back to New York. He said, I'll pay your ticket. You come back to New York, you'll go dance one gig, and you'll pay me back, and you'll be back on your feet. And I needed that other person to say, hey, come here. Let me slap you around for a minute, and let me wake your ass up, because you were in a dream. He woke me up, and I went back to New York, and I said, great, I'm going to go back to New York. I'm going to let these bitches have it.
Yeah.
And I shaved my chest.
Slay.
Shaved my leg.
And I met you.
You met me.
Yes. Who's this pretty girl?
Yes. I straightened up. And that was 28. And I had a great time for the rest of the time. But it wasn't until I was 30.
When you were 28.
Yes. But it wasn't until I was 30 that the dust really settled and I was able to really focus. And because I party. And that's when I started, 30, I started working on my demo tape and sent it out to all the record companies. And I got a bite from Tommy Boy Records, and everything took off from there. But it's at a very pivotal point, 27 and all that.
Yeah. But that's great. You're doing the work.
Yeah.
You're doing the work on you. Not just your music's always going to be there. Ru does an album sometimes 2 a year.
Yeah.
You're always going to be churning out music. But it's your insides that matter.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
No, definitely. And the kids see it, man. They're not dumb. When they come to the meet and greets, they know I'm not happy. That shit it's not, no one works like that. That's not practical for a human being. But.
Adore Delano is with us. We've got more to come right after this. Michelle, you know how much I love Squarespace.
Tell me.
I tell you, because the idea of all of our creative, beautiful people out there getting the opportunity to build a website on their own to their liking in such an easy way.
Yeah.
It is really the 21st century.
It really is.
I love it. And we've talked about this before with the colors, the beauty, the music, our laughter, our joy. That is the one secret weapon that the other side doesn't have.
Yeah, and they can't have it.
And they can't. They don't know how to do it. But we do. We go straight over to Squarespace and we set it up.
And we get a lot of great emails about your Squarespace ads. You can send them, by the way, to RuPaulPodcast@gmail.com. Tell us about your Squarespace websites. I've got one today from Rohit John. It says, Dear Ru and Michelle, and producer guy, which I love, producer guy Alex. I just want to say that I love you both very much. I learned a lot through listening to the podcast and Drag Race. Every night before I go to sleep, I listen to the both of you talk about being the observer of one's mind, the matrix we live in, and everything else. Girl, you are both literally raising me. Michelle's Bareback Betty episode is the best one.
What the Bareback Betty?
Bareback Betty, that was early on. Yeah. heartwarming, funny, insightful. Also want to let you know, come on, you know that's my nickname, Rue. Because of your hilarious ads, which I'm obsessed with, I stumbled upon Squarespace. As someone studying in the advertising field, hoping to be a copywriter, it's close to impossible to secure an internship in New York in some of the biggest ad agencies. But because of your recommendation, I built this website in no less than a week and can proudly say that I'm coming to New York all the way from India to work in JWT, New York, all because of you guys in Squarespace. Wow. Isn't that amazing?
All the way from India.
And can't wait to see us at DragCon New York City, by the way, September 9th and 10th. Get your tickets now.
Yes.
With love, John. Here's my website, Rohit, R-O-H-I-T, John, JOHN.net.
Wow.
So happy for you, Rohit.
It's making dreams come true. And that's what Squarespace is all about. And, you know, you can get a free trial with no credit card required just by going to squarespace.com. Child, when you love the plan and you're blown away, you can confirm all that just by speaking of fun. Go
ahead. You can get 10% off by putting in the offer code RU. And like Ruth said, free trial, no credit card. You're going to be getting a great deal and helping to keep What's the Tea free, which, of course, everybody loves. So thanks again to Squarespace, and keep sending in your websites to RuPaulPodcast@gmail.com. That's squarespace.com. Offer code
RU.
Jagger.
We are back with Adore Delano. Now, we've been skirting around the big issue, the elephant in the room.
And it's not all stars in our fallout.
Yes, it is the plastic surgery.
Yes.
So walk us through your plastic surgery odyssey. What was the first procedure you ever had?
The first procedure I've ever had was it my nose? Yeah.
No.
Was it? What did I get done? My teeth?
Yeah, wasn't it your teeth first and then?
First.
Was it?
Yeah.
So you had what did you do to your teeth?
I had my whole mouth done.
Really?
Like the whole thing?
Yeah, I just chipped one on a salad, and I was eating it too. I was like,
I hate when that happens.
So your veneers, you chipped your veneers.
You chip a veneer, and then you hear something crunch, and you're like, wow, that's really crunchy in this salad.
Salad.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my tooth.
And so what made you decide to get your veneers done?
I didn't like my teeth. I never did. They were all bad. I mean, we even had to get me 2 root canals while we filmed my season of Drag Race.
You mean
do you guys
season
remember?
6?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember, but they had us shut down Saturday. I think,
they had to pull you out?
To pull me out to the dentist because my whole face swelled. I had 2 abscess. And when I wore the cage thing, that thing.
Yeah, on your face, yeah.
Thank God you didn't have dentata vagina.
Vagina
What's
dentata.
that?
Well, you'll look it up. You'll Google it later.
Well, my brother says I have weenie gagophobia.
What is that? Weenie gagophobia. That's brilliant. I think that's an album title.
It's the next one.
Yeah. Okay, so then you had the veneers done, and then you had
the
nose done.
Nose, yeah.
And then what next?
What else did I have?
Well, it's the lips scenario
the
that
lips.
I find really interesting because Danny has beautiful, beautiful lips. Always had a beautiful mouth. And then he got them pumped so big, which I love so much.
They were so disgusting. Don't do me.
Like Amanda Lepore big, but on him it didn't look like that. But he's the only person I know, because you and I are obsessed with him. I want to get a full, my mouth is so small, I want to get a full.
No way.
I do. I want to so bad just to have that once. But not look, he doesn't look like a duck. They look beautiful and supple. But my whole point of telling you this is, he's the only person I know who actually went in and got an antidote to get it like dissolved. Didn't you get it like removed?
Oh yeah, the Kardashians, well, allegedly. The Kardashians do that. Like a lot of the girls do that.
Get it removed?
It's called hyaluronidase.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Oh, yeah, it's a reverse like kind of acid.
But why reverse it? It was amazing.
Oh no.
Especially since it'll dissipate in a few months.
No, what my doctor did, he did a whole syringe in one lip. Like he just shot it in my mouth, man. He did me dirty. He was from Pasadena.
He shot it in your mouth.
Yeah, he just shot me right in the mouth. And I was like,
that sounds amazing to me.
I went to my doctor.
Shoot me, doctor.
I came out literally looking like, wait, home.
Just your top lip?
Yeah, but no, it's swollen initially. It's swollen, and it goes down.
It didn't. He created scar tissue in the inside of my mouth.
Oh, how lucky for you.
That's what I said. And there's another queen that gets it, and then it lasts, when I tell you, like 2 years. I'll get it, and it goes away in 2 months.
But it wasn't pouty. It was wide. It was weird looking.
What was it? What, did they put Restylane in there?
No, they put Juvederm. I don't know what the hell. He probably put some fucking fluid. I don't know.
Flat.
So Juvederm. He put Juvederm in your lips, and is this the one, did you go to the person in Riverside who we all know who?
Pasadena.
No, this was in Pasadena.
Why? Hold on a minute.
It was a nice, actually, and a really nice
Pasadena's gorgeous, but how did you end up in Pasadena?
I'm 10 minutes away. It's a stop.
Yeah.
But, did somebody say, go to this person for the lift?
My cousin.
Your cousin, yeah. Do all of your cousins work for you?
No, just the one.
We finally found a cool doctor in Glendora, which is funny because I keep finding the good doctors like in like the
right in your neighborhood.
In the hood, yeah. And she like literally is just like she fills my face. She's like this, that, and like she's like got me back to looking like my mom's son.
Oh, I see. You went back. You went to the other person in Glendora, which is next door to Azusa.
She could do my cheeks too, though.
Oh, like some filler?
Yeah, it takes away the laughing wrinkles. She was telling.
Well, you can just also.
Yeah, but that will make you look, I should say, because sometimes...
like puffy?
Yeah, like people's skin, not everybody's skin, like, reacts with it. So she shot me a tiny bit, which is expensive, man.
So that's probably Voluma.
That's Voluma,
yes.
Yeah.
And that's like $1,000 for like a teeny... I don't mean to talk money, but it's expensive.
Yeah. She was like, oh, do you want it? I'm like, you're giving me everything I paid for. You're not going to have, no.
But it does... Voluma does last for
a year,
maybe even more.
Yeah, I got that done a while ago though, but it took everything away. It was Selena Gomez. I was like, oh, she's pure.
She's my favorite.
Yeah. So that's all you've done. You've just done fillers and some veneers, and you had a nose job.
That's not
my lips.
Yeah, no, that's actually.
Oh, I'm getting more. Oh, my hairline.
And your hairline, yes.
I'm getting more. Yeah. I'm like a hybrid. I'm not so much like transitioning. I'm just like I kind of want to be like a Pete Burns gig.
Okay.
Yeah, when my hair's long enough.
Yeah. And would you ever consider getting some big old tiggle bitties?
No. The thing is like I'm actually working on my body right now. Like I like the gender fuck idea of like being like a hairy and kind of like have a six pack and stuff, and then like have like a beat ass mug, just like very that. Right? I want to fuck with people's minds.
And your makeup is just getting so much better.
You think so?
Oh my God, you've grown so
It's been a while since I had a gig, girl, so thank you.
No,
when I see you in drag, you look like, what's her name? She was in the last Bond film, the Italian woman.
Bartolomeo.
Oh, Jesus. And
not
there's
from
two.
Casino.
No, it's not from Casino. There's two. She also looks like...
Bartolucci? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, you're saying that's her name, but Maria...
Bartoloma. No, I'm thinking of Maria Bartoloma, the Money Honey.
Yeah, and she also looks like the girl, the actress who's also in the Diabolique with Sharon Stone. And she was in The Tenant. Oh, jeez. Damn these. See, this is why you shouldn't do drugs.
I expect that
because the brain cells, the producers, he's looking these people up. But you look like.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, I agree. She was just in the last season, which I love, of Mozart in the Jungle.
Oh, she was.
She was. It made no sense. No idea
what. A producer,
I want to say it's Bertolucci, but I'm wrong, so I'll look it up.
Yeah, he's going to look it up. And then I can't remember the other one's name. But do you have
Monica Bellucci.
Monica Bellucci.
I didn't even do it.
Monica Bellucci. Now, producer, look up who's in Diabolique with Sharon Stone from 1995.
Monica Bellucci. And can I tell you what I love about her as a sidebar? What I love about her, especially on Mozart in the Jungle, is that she has not done one thing to her face. I know. You can either go one way or the other.
Sure.
She is aging so gracefully. You can see everything. It's going. But she is still so stunning.
Yes.
And she's look her. Gorgeous.
Oh, she's pretty.
Oh no, stunning.
She's stunning. Yes, beautiful. Jeez. And what's the other one, Mr. Producer?
Is it Isabella Adjani?
Isabella Adjani.
Oh my God, she's so gorgeous. She's the one that did that layout, that famous layout. No, that's Nastasia.
Yeah, that's Nastasia Kinski. Isabelle Adjani is a famous French actress, and you look like her when you're all up in drag.
Monica Bellucci is 52 and looks like that.
She's brilliant.
She looks like a princess.
Yeah,
she is. No, she's
and
brilliant.
those lips, gorgeous. Those are Adore lips.
Yeah. So now, Adore, what's next for Adore Delano? You're working on an album that's more punk grunge.
Yes.
This will be your third album.
Yeah.
Yes. The first one is
and
the second is After Party. Yeah. And then now it's. Do you have a title?
No, we don't have a title yet. But they're cool, man. My voice is all messed up because we just flew back from Arizona, and I was in their garage with like metal band, and we're just screaming and like just basically giving my voice puberty to like kind of like graduate into that genre.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know how those people like. not Eddie Van Halen, but
David Lee
Roth, how he was able to do that kind of singing night after night after
night. And Metallica and all of them.
That?
I don't know how they did it.
I guess you build up calluses or something.
You have to build up probably calluses, but I know there's certain different techniques they teach you on YouTube to try to pull harder from certain areas to try to not strain so much physical on your throat.
Yeah.
But I've pretty much gotten there with the shit sounds pretty good. I've been screaming pretty good, and I could still sing Whitney.
Yeah,
so, whatever.
Right on.
I sound like Sia, but whatever.
So now
it's not a bad thing.
You've been touring. You have these rock albums, and you're going to tour. What? Where do you see all of this going? Do you have a game plan for how you want? Do you want to go into movies? Do you want to do your TV shows? Produce other people, write for other people?
I think I have such a manic brain that if I focus my creativity on so many different things at once, then it can really crash down really hard on me. So I'm just taking things one at a time. But I know ultimately by next year, probably in mid-year, I think something huge is probably going to happen.
Well, but just like the way you're building your voice up so you could sing these songs, the same is true in business. Now, you're saying that if you do take on all these projects, you might crash.
By myself.
By yourself. But the same is true with your voice. You have to build up sort of calluses, for lack of a better word, so that you can maintain and have a long career. I think the problem with being with reality stars, people become famous overnight. Oh, yeah. The thing is, if you've done the hard yards where you've year after year, it was 11 years before anything really happened for me. You build up those calluses. You build up the principles of business that allow you to sustain a career for many years beyond the thing. And I've said this too. It was work getting the big break. It was even more work to sustain the career after the big break.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah,
it's not about getting the break. It's once you get the break. That's what we've often talked about, the graveyard of reality show people that are out there now working regular jobs because their moment in this, first of all, they're lucky that moment happened, and then the fact that there's a life after is a reality. That's the real reality.
It's a lot on the human brain.
Of course it is.
Especially when you take these kids, as I get older, man. Because I remember being a kid, not really caring or even thinking about things like this, but. When I see even kids shows, I'm just and I'm dang man, I don't know, it's just
like Macaulay Culkin and all those kid stars.
Because I love him, man. That's I'm ugh.
And then there are the ones who are successful at it, making that transition, like Elizabeth Taylor and Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
There's so many who
Raven
are able.
Simone.
Raven Simone, yes, all of them.
Yeah.
But what is the element? It'd be interesting to have at DragCon to have a panel of child stars,
that would be cool.
or even reality stars who have sustained their career well beyond their shelf life.
And the majority is very small.
Lauren Conrad's a good one.
Yeah, well, she's doing all those products.
Designing stuff.
She's like an empire.
And kids and a husband, and,
But she harnessed who her audience is, and her audience are these women who are, mothers who do this. Do you know who your audience is?
1,010%. They're literally me when I was 14. They're the angry, confused, almost too offended at times. Millennials that are weird and that dye their hair because their mom said that Kool-Aid doesn't stain and they wanted to prove them a point. I read these these kids are weirdos.
Yeah.
So when I hear them, and a lot of them have been writing me little letters, man, saying even though I don't like pop music, I still like your stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute, I need to give these motherfuckers some cool shit that I grew up on, because there's nothing like Nirvana out right now, or stuff that makes kids angry. We're almost living a Nixon era where kids don't know what to do but pretend to be artists and throw paint on the wall. It's get angry.
So is it like Alanis meets Nirvana?
It's Alanis meets Brody Dale, Courtney Love, and Marilyn Manson.
How fun. I'm happy for you.
And a little Britney, because you can't never put
Britney never goes away.
Oh my God, I love what's your favorite Britney?
My favorite Britney is I like Email My Heart. Do you know that song? Do you know that song? Oh my God, do you know it? I'm sure.
Well, I've heard that emails are really big right now, and the song, it's actually I have a GIF on my thing of where her describing it.
Emails are really big right now.
And all the kids are doing it.
All the kids are doing it.
It's a good song.
What's your favorite Britney album?
Probably I don't know. Probably Baby One More Time. That was just so nostalgic.
It was so
90s.
It wasn't really. I wouldn't call it groundbreaking, but the thing was, she was this girl who literally captured everybody's heart with one song.
Yeah.
That was pretty compelling.
Yeah.
And not a voice that's like a Mariah or a Christina. It was a baby, baby, and everybody's like, oh yeah.
No, I really did. I loved her, but I loved her. Courtney Love was like a gig for me, man.
Yeah.
Like, she was like throwing compacts at Madonna when I love Madonna. And I was just like, what is she doing? Like, she was why I was
So you loved her for that. She made me very mad when she did that.
I loved it. She was why I told my teacher, why? Like,
it's like, don't do that to my Madonna.
Well, yeah, but you know, they probably had like beef at a shoot or something.
But I did love how Courtney was like, ah!
She's
like down on the ground.
I loved her, man. I identified with her. Because she was like Anna Nicole Smith in a way, and that's how I identified with her. She used what the public thought of her to her advantage.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then
that's super smart.
Kind of became it.
Yeah.
And then came on